What's going on, my randomizers? I'm Sinjin.
I'm Marshall.
And today we are going to be doing the first episode of my new podcast, also known as a not so random, yet also super random podcast by Sinjin, aka Kraken. So today we are going to be talking about one of the greatest game franchises ever made, who has recently celebrated its 20th anniversary. Made by a Japanese company. Can you guess who it is? Drum roll, please. That's right, Pokémon. Okay, so I have Marshall with me.
What's up?
And the Pokémon series started off with Pokémon Red, Blue, Green, and Yellow came slightly after that, I think. I'm just guessing here. But, so yeah. Those games were in black and white and very, very poor graphics. Yeah, so, as you know, those games, I'm assuming, we didn't do a lot of research, but in my opinion, I'm assuming that those games were booming whenever they were made. And, yeah, and then ever since then, they made the remakes of it, Leaf Green, Fire Red. I think it was just Leaf Green, Fire Red. I'm probably wrong about that. But anyway, after that there was Gold and Silver, then Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Then I'm not sure how the games went. Then they came along with Ruby, Sapphire, Omega Ruby, Omega Sapphire. They had Black and White, Black 2, White 2. The Gen 7 games, aka Alola. Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Then they had X and Y. They had rumors that they were going to make a Z, but they never did, I don't think. Then they just recently came out with the first Pokemon games on the Nintendo Switch, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So, next games are not necessarily rumored, but pretty much confirmed that they are going to be on the Nintendo Switch. So, hey, get a Nintendo Switch if you want to play the games. Now, and Marshall doesn't have that much experience with Pokemon. Before I just want to say, Pokemon has had not a lot of rip-off games, but just games made by it, and a lot of them Nintendo didn't have any say in. But Pokemon Go is arguably a good game. I personally don't like it that much. I have downloaded it, but the only reason I play it is for Let's Go Pikachu on the Switch, which you can do that. You can play Pokemon Let's Go without Pokemon Go, but for me it makes the game more fun. Marshall, on the other hand, does like Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I really like it, but I used to not like it really that much because of all the dangers of kids getting concussions and people trying to do it while driving. There was just a lot of things happening, but I started recently playing it about a month ago. I kind of like it. There's some things that maybe could be fixed, maybe some things that could be better made. Maybe a game where instead of walking around, it's just a video game, not you having to walk around for your character to move.
So basically you mean every other Pokemon game ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a bad game. It's just, to me, not very interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, but still, it's still fun to some people, and it takes the classics, it takes all the normal Pokemon, doesn't add any new Pokemon that are fake. It has really good graphics. Now, let's move on to another game that Nintendo had no say in whatsoever. Pokemon Brick Bronze on Roblox.
Oh.
Now, I'm sure you guys have obviously heard of Roblox. Roblox, it's kind of Minecraft, but not really.
It's a gaming platform. You could play millions of different types of games.
You have a lot of different types of games. Block characters, and you can play with your friends, you can chat with your friends. So, and they have a lot of games, like they have Roller Coaster Tycoon and Escape the Clown and Escape Granny and all that sort of stuff. Then they have Pokemon games, Pokemon Brick Bronze, and I think there's 2 others that I don't remember the name of. But Pokemon Brick Bronze is the major one. Now, if you've never heard of Pokemon Brick Bronze, then I don't blame you. Roblox hasn't been very popular these days. It's not as popular as it was not a while ago, but whenever it first came out. But anyway, Pokemon Brick Bronze. Nintendo had Pokemon Go had Nintendo had the rights of Nintendo to make the game. Niantic had the rights, and Nintendo helped them with the game to get all the Pokemon right and all the moves right and the damage and all that sort of stuff. But Roblox didn't get the rights, and they didn't even try to get the rights, I don't think. And they made Pokemon Brick Bronze. Now, arguably, it's a good Pokemon game. I just don't like Roblox. But, you can catch Pokemon, you can battle trainers, it's all the same. Just a little different.
Because it's not Roblox that makes the games, it's random people that make those games. So it could be a 300-pound person laying on the couch making that game. It could be like a $1 million billionaire, someone making that game. It's anybody making those games, and it was probably one of the biggest Pokemon ripoff games, because Pokemon and Roblox don't go together. Pokemon is Pokemon and Roblox is Roblox.
Yeah, that's what I think. And actually, if you guys haven't heard, Nintendo actually sued Roblox for making a Pokemon game without their rights, because Pokemon Brick Bronze became a very, very, very popular Pokemon game. And people were playing it having no actual knowledge of the actual Pokemon games, just because Roblox is free, therefore you can play it for free. Now, I know Pokemon is a little expensive. You have to have the console and then buy the games, which, you may not buy the games. You might get them for Christmas. You might get them for your birthday. You may buy them yourself. You never know. You may get them from a friend who doesn't want it. There's many ways you can get it. But finding the cheapest way isn't always finding the best way. Like, if, say, you're ordering something from Amazon. Maybe you're just getting something from Walmart. You never know. And then you have the cheaper item that, let's say you have a can of soup. And then I'm not talking about the Great Value brand if you're getting from Walmart, because that is good. But if you have, like, some knockoff brand, like, I don't know, let's just make up something, the Felix's famous tomato soup. That's not a real brand, but that soup company is making it. Now, let's say you can buy that for 75 cents a can. Then you have, like, I don't know, Campbell's tomato soup, which is the good soup. And, everybody wants to be Campbell's. And then they're $1 million company, maybe not million, I don't know, and it's more expensive, I don't know, let's say around $2.50 a can. But, as they say, a bang for your buck. You're getting what you want for your money. Now, if you always go with sometimes the cheaper option is good, but a lot of times it's not. Like, my friend recently got a Xbox 360 from someone from his school for $20. Now, he was talking to me, and he said that he was pretty sure that, I don't remember exactly what he said, but back in, like, whenever Xbox 360s were first made, they had something on them. It was like they were mass-produced, and they had some kind of virus on them, which all the Xbox 360s crashed. And so, my friend is pretty sure that that Xbox that he bought for $20 has that on it, which, I mean, that makes sense. Like, why else would he be selling it for $20? So, always be aware of that sort of stuff. Now, how this ties into Brick Bronze and Roblox is that Roblox is the free Pokemon, not Pokemon, but is the free platform. Now, you know, it's good, but, you know, there's some things that are bad. Because you're not going to have, like, good graphics. You don't have good graphics in any Roblox game. Roblox just has poor graphics. Then, you know, you have the actual Pokemon games. Like, if you've played Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, you see, that's amazing graphics. And, you know, you actually feel like you're part of the game. Now, yeah, so, in my opinion, I would say, spend the money to get the good. You know, if you want to play a Pokemon game, pay the money to buy an actual Pokemon game. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, definitely, and you know, I just wanted to say that, and yeah. So, next, let's move on to another knockoff. The Pokemon TGC game. Pokemon trading card game. I have a good bit of Pokemon cards. I don't play, like, the game with them, but I have a lot. Marshall also has a lot. Do you play the game?
I just really buy them to collect them. I have over 300, but I only spend like $20 and I already have 300. Like, the cards are really cheap, and like you never know, like not millions, but like let's say 20 years later, and you have like Pokemon just stopped. They stopped with the cards, and you have like, let's say, like a Mewtwo card.
A Mewtwo
that can be sold for quite a bit of money if Pokemon had stopped making. Because I myself, like, what I brought all of my most powerful Pokemon, and I have quite a bit, about 100 or so. And, like, it only cost me, like, $5. Like, all these cards. And, like, I actually sold one of my legendary Pokemon. I had 2 Mewtwo EXs. Well, my friend really wanted one, and he was willing to give me $30 for the Mewtwo card. So I gave it to him, and he got a Mewtwo card. I got $30, and we were both happy. But I was gonna teach Sinjin how to play the real Pokemon card game.
Because I have absolutely no idea how to play. It's a lot of many confusing rules. Now, I was in a play, like a theatrical production, and at the end of it, my mom wanted to get me a congratulations for doing the play gift. And we went to a store, and I saw they had a pack of cards. It was a lot of cards, powerful cards. It was Moltres something pack. I think it was like Team Flare Moltres pack or something. Now, I got it, and now I really regret asking her that, like asking to get that for my gift, because I don't use them anymore. I wish I had asked for something more useful, like, I don't know, a good book, I don't know, like something Harry Potter related, a wand, the sorts. And yeah, so now I don't use the cards, I have them. My brother went to Japan, and he got me a pack of Japanese cards, which those are really cool, because, Japan is where it's at. And those are just really cool, and I like those. And I like the cards. I have a Mega Blastoise card that's really powerful. And yeah, so yeah, that's my opinion on the cards.
Yeah, and Pokemon cards, like, basically how, like, you play the game is, like, if you look at the top right corner, you will see something that says HP, a number, and then a little symbol. So different symbols mean, like, different types of Pokemon. Like a lightning bolt may be like a...
Lightning bolt means electric type.
Yeah.
It's all,
So
if you've played Pokemon, you understand.
I'm holding a Raichu Pokemon card in my hand right now. And right here it says circuit below the picture. It says this attack does 20 damage to items, the number of your bench Pokemon. So like bench Pokemon are the Pokemon that aren't in the battle, and then it'll show like 20 times. Like it'll show like 20x, but that's just on the card that I'm using right now. That means like, so like take like the number of your bench, like let's say I have 5 bench Pokemon. 20 times 5 is 100. So I will do 100 damage to Sinjin's Mega Blastoise.
And very unlikely, because my Blastoise is super powerful, but continue.
And then there's another attack. Not all of them have 2 attacks. Like my Mega Manectric only has 1 attack. But this one says Thunderbolt and it says 100. It says discard all energy attached to this Pokemon. It really doesn't like mean, it just telling you like it does 100 damage. Then it'll say weakness. And I don't know if Sinjin might know how that works, but it shows a symbol of another Pokemon. So like Raichu is
No. Yeah, I just want to say this. I'm looking at his cards. He has a Zygarde, Jolteon, Mewtwo, Incineroar, Mega Lucario, and Mega Manectric. So, let's just take Incineroar. Mm-hmm. Now, Incineroar is fire type, and if you play Pokemon, you know that you should know that water is super effective against fire. Now, if you look at the Incineroar card, it says weakness water times 2, which that's true. But then if you look at the Jolteon card, it says weakness fighting times 2. Now, in the Pokemon franchise, fighting and electric have no correlation with each other. There's no super effective, not very effective with each other. So it's the same thing on the Manectric card. Now, if you look at the Zygarde card, Zygarde is fighting type. Now, it says weakness grass times 2, which fighting and grass, once again, don't have any correlation at all. Now, if you look at the Mega Lucario card, it says weakness psychic times 2, which that makes a lot of sense, because in the Pokemon games, Psychic is super effective against fighting type, which, that makes sense, because brains over bronze. That's a common rule. You hear that, like, in real life a lot. Now, if you look at a Quilladin, the evolution of Chespin card, it says weakness fire times 2, which makes sense, because fire is super effective against grass. Yeah. So, a lot of the cards are really weird, and, still... Oh, wait, hold on. No, never mind. I was going to say that could be ground, because I know Zygarde is ground, but no, Lucario is the same side. Lucario is steel fighting. Okay, so anyway, I think that's enough talk about the cards. What other Pokemon stuff can we talk about?
Maybe safety with Pokemon. Like Pokemon Go safety.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know a lot of you don't play Pokemon Go anymore. That fad is kind of over. But for the ones of you who still play it, like Marshall and I, you be very careful whenever you're playing it. Now, whenever it says don't play Pokemon Go while driving, don't play Pokemon Go while driving. I know sometimes it can be irritating if you're in the passenger seat and you keep having to click that every 5 minutes. But still, if you are actually driving, which I don't think any of my viewers are people who can drive, but if you are an adult and can drive, congrats, thank you for listening and watching my videos. And anyway, don't play Pokemon Go while driving. That is one of the stupidest moves I've ever heard. Not to offend you, but that's super bad. Don't do that. And other things, if you're playing Pokemon Go, now this is probably a really common thing, but if you're playing Pokemon Go, and then you're walking down the street, and say you see someone, and they're down like, you have to turn the corner, and they're like, it's like a dark alley, which dark alleys, you always hear, don't go down the dark alley. But if you and there's guy is talking to you saying, and like you don't know him, and he's saying, "Hey, I have a really powerful Pokemon, like a Charizard or something over here. Just come with me to get my phone and we can trade." Like, no, don't do that. He will kidnap you. And, that's just another stupid move.
And another thing is, don't sell Pokemon cards at school if you want to trade with another kid, because you can get suspended from selling items at school.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying that, because we had a little club at school where like we would make spinners and we would sell it to people because they had really cool designs. And our teacher, she had said if you sell things at school you could get suspended, because some 6th graders had recently got suspended. So we had stopped and we had realized that we can't do this. And another thing is, like, don't fight over people. Like, if you do play the game, like, don't just get in a fight with somebody because, like, they beat you. Or don't try to steal Pokemon cards, because I had that problem in 4th grade.
Yeah, and, like, fair play. You learn this all the time in your life, in Boy Scouts, in Cub Scouts, in practically anything. You learn that don't, like, fair play. If someone beats you in a game, don't, like, get super mad and start a fight, and if you win, don't gloat. I mean, like, a little gloating can be fine, like, hey, I beat you, maybe we can do next time, maybe a little haha, a little victory dance, but don't do something over the top, like, oh, I beat you, you're the worst, you don't know how to play this game, blah, 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 blah. Like, don't do that. And, like, if you lost, and you want to get revenge, don't do it in a violent manner, like fighting them. Go home or wherever you go and practice doing that, so that next time you challenge them, you are able to beat them. And still, if you beat them the second time, don't gloat. Even if they gloated to you that they won, don't gloat back.
Because in 4th grade, it was like the school was about to end and we were having a little party in class, and me and my friends brought some Pokemon cards. Well, we went outside to go play and a rocket hit me in the head and I nearly got a concussion. So while I wasn't in the room, one of the kids tried to steal my Mewtwo EX. But luckily, my good friends actually stopped him and told him that it was wrong and told the teacher. So, yeah, like, don't steal just because someone's not around. Don't steal anything. I don't care if it's Pokemon cards, baseball cards, soccer cards. Doesn't matter, anything. Don't steal.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't steal. It's not a good thing to do. And back to the Pokemon Go. If you see something dangerous, like, say there's, like, a prison area, yet there's a Charizard in the prison area, don't go into the prison area just because there's a Charizard. I know Charizard is... I've heard that Charizard is super powerful, but don't. And if you see, like, there's a Charizard or some super powerful Pokemon in someone's house, don't go into their house just because you want the Pokemon. Like, that's infiltration of property. I think I just made that up, but, still, it's wrong.
And when I play Pokemon Go, like, I'm gonna pull it up right now. It's gonna say, don't go in dangerous areas while playing Pokemon Go. The reason they say is because they don't want you going into someone else's property, or, like, going into a prison area, going into a place with barbed wire around it. Don't try to climb the fence and jump over it. We're getting into Pokemon Go right now, and it says
do not enter dangerous areas while playing Pokemon Go. Is the first thing you see after the loading screen. Then you have to click OK. Then sometimes it will say don't play Pokemon Go while you're driving, and then then you can play the game. But still, it's a very stupid idea to do anything dangerous while playing Pokemon Go. Like, I think whenever Niantic and Nintendo released Pokemon Go, they probably had a lot of regrets because people were doing stupid stuff like that. Like walking into cliffs, going into prison areas, not watching where they're going, and all that.
And I was watching the news whenever Pokemon Go was the top trend of the century. And I was just shocked whenever they said something about two kids were playing Pokemon Go at each other's house, and they lost in a battle, and the other kid took his dad's gun and shot him.
Oh, wow. Okay, I never heard that, but yeah. And I wanted to say that with Pokemon Go, hold on, what did I want to say? Just keep talking about that.
Well, another thing is, like, if someone, like, I saw this on the news as well, a kid playing Pokemon Go saw a van pull up, and the guy in the van said, "Come in my van and I will give you a Charizard." He went in the van and got kidnapped, and they found him dead on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And now I wanted to say that if you're playing Pokemon Go, then, and it says allow access to use GPS while playing Pokemon Go. Now, a lot of parents will tell you, don't do that, they're going to track you. Now, the only way you can actually play Pokemon Go is if you do that. So what I do personally is, whenever I went to my settings and set only use location while playing game. And now I don't play the game often. So, that makes sense that it will only be able to see my location while I'm playing the game.
Yeah, like, no game should cost your life. No game at all.
No.
I don't care if it's Fortnite, Overwatch, no game should cost your life.
Mm-mm. And I know this is about Pokemon, but, it's also, the name of the podcast is the Not So Random Yet Also Super Random Podcast by Sinjin, aka Kraken. So let's just briefly talk about Fortnite. Fortnite is the top trend these days. But I personally think that I don't like Fortnite. I think that Fortnite was a short-lasted trend. And that soon, Fortnite is going to, die. And that people won't play it anymore. And I just, with Fortnite, if you're playing against your friend, same thing with Pokemon, with the trading card game. Don't start a fight with them just because you lost. And I know I can't tell you what to do. I'm not your mom. But just don't start a fight. Do something peaceful, like maybe rematch them or challenge them to a different game that you're good at. That's a peaceful resolution. And, and in Fortnite, just don't be influenced by stuff that's happened in video games. Don't be influenced to do it in real life. I know a lot of people, they'll read books and something super epic happens in the book and they want to be just like their favorite character in the book. So they'll do that thing. Like me personally, I'm reading the Unwanted series. And now, if you read Unwanteds, then you know that they have different spell components. Different things, scatter clips and other stuff like that. Like scatter clips and the transport spell and all that. Now, I'm a big fan of the Unwanted series. So what I did was, if you know about scatter clips, if you read the books, they are simply paper clips, which are taken and turned into little triangle shapes. And then, if you're magic enough, you can use them. So I made 5 at school one day. And then I made, I lost one, so I made 2 more. And now I have, 7. 2, 4, yes, I have 7. And sometimes I just, throw them at people. I don't throw them hard because I can't throw because I'm very, very unathletic. I don't, throw them hard at people. I just, kind of, throw them in, just, make a funny joke about it and stuff. But, and so I have 7 of them, and still. And I have another one, the backward bobbly head is another spell component. It's just a spring, and I'll throw that at people just as a joke. But I'll never do something to risk my life if it was read in a book. Same thing with video games. If I don't play Fortnite, but if you do play Fortnite, and you're playing, and then you shoot someone, and they die, don't be tempted to shoot someone in real life. Now, another thing, so I know there's like cliffs in Fortnite, right? Like big mountains, and
Yes.
if you fall off a cliff, sometimes you may survive if you fall off a cliff in Fortnite. Don't jump off a cliff in real life, because the worst thing that can happen, you can die. Now, the best thing that would happen, and not best as in good, is the least worst thing that can happen is you break both your legs, which you don't want to do that, because then you won't be able to use your legs, and if you break them too bad, then they might not be able to fix them, and you won't be able to use your legs ever again. And then if you fall, you might hurt your spine, which can cause paralysis, which nobody wants paralysis. Paralysis is awful. You can't move. So yeah, just don't replicate things in books or video games or movies unless you know they're absolutely safe. Like, I know that, like, if I take a fake scatter clip that I made and throw it at someone, and I don't throw hard, I know that, and it's just like a joke, and that they won't get super angry and start yelling at me and want to fight. But if I do something, like, I saw on the news, a kid got arrested because he was aiming a Nerf gun at people's heads passing by on cars, and I'm not sure if he got arrested or what, but he was in serious trouble. And I know that's probably not Fortnite related, but still, don't do that. That's one of the stupidest things you could do.
And another thing that's also this is probably the stupidest move that people on like gaming and things like that could do. Telling your personal information to someone that you don't even know. Because it's so easy for people to track down your address. And they could just come into your house armed. The worst thing that could happen is them stealing all your stuff or even you dying.
Yeah. And now, you guys, you may only be watching this podcast, which, okay, thank you. Whenever I went to my friend Ace's house, we made a lot of live streams. About 5 or 6, I would say. And there was one really nice person. You should definitely go check out his YouTube channel, jtexas87.y. Really nice, really nice. He was doing a live stream at the same time. We were watching each other's live streams. It was really fun. And then I was like, oh yeah, you know what would be funny? Would be cool, Texas, like if we could FaceTime and blah blah blah. And then he said, oh, you said you want to FaceTime? And said, here's my phone number. And so he put his phone number in the chat, like in the live chat, which I told him, oh no, don't do that. And I'm pretty sure I think I deleted the comment so that nobody could see. And he like immediately was like, oh, okay, I won't do that. And yeah, and just don't give away your personal information to someone you don't know. And if you're going to give personal information, even if you, like, say you're watching your friend's live stream. Like, say I'm doing a live stream and Marshall's watching it. Now, Marshall knows my personal stuff. But say Marshall is, like, just one of my good friends from schools. But we don't, like, talk out of school and blah, blah, blah. And he wants to know my phone number. And, like, say he wants to give me his and, like, blah, blah, blah. He wouldn't say on the, like, live chat, say, hey, Sinjin, it's Marshall, and, hey, if you want to come to my house sometime next week, here's my address and his address, if you need to get in contact with me or my parents, here's their phone numbers. Like, don't do that. Give them all this at school, where you know that nobody's going to, be able to track you down.
Yeah, like, just never tell people your personal information because they can find you.
And now, by don't give people your personal information, I don't mean don't give anybody your personal information. I mean don't give people on the internet. Like, say you're texting your friend. Then, you can give them your information and stuff. Like, they're your friend. You're texting them. It's a private conversation that you and them are doing. And, unless someone comes up and looks at the text, that's it. But nobody unless they're really good hackers, are going to be able to get into your device, not at your device, and be able to see what you're texting. So, and like, if you're doing like, I don't know, you're Skyping someone, then you can do it. Just make sure that there's nobody who will do something bad with that information around.
Yeah, and another thing, just because Sinjin deleted his phone number off of that chat.
It wasn't mine, it was Jay Texas.
Oh. Well, just because, like, he
and
deleted
I deleted the phone number, but Jay Texas put the phone number.
Internet never forgets.
And so yeah, because someone could have, like, screenshotted it. But, you know, and yeah, so never be very, very careful. Like, that's why in my videos and this podcast, I'm very careful not to say where I live or my age or any of that. And if someone even starts to say something about it, I either stop them or we do a retake of that part. Because, you know, that's not something, like, just deleting the video, someone could have, like, screen recorded the video and can watch that part anytime, which is really scary.
Yeah, and another thing, like, this is different where, like I started playing for a middle school for soccer, and there was a coach, and he was, like, asking the parents for their phone numbers. They can give him the phone number because he is trusted by the school. See, that's different. But this is people that you don't know at all, like, and strangers.
It may be someone saying, like, oh, hi, I'm a little girl, blah, 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 I'm 6 years old, blah, 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 you know, blah, 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 blah. But there's a lot of that going around. These people are lying. They're actually probably a middle-aged man sitting at their keyboard wanting to, like, kidnap you and kill you. Like, so just don't do any of that. Now, that's enough of that. Let's get back on to Pokemon. And, like, we got all the negative stuff out of the way. Let's move on to a positive subject, Pokemon.
Yeah, so we talked about all the safety. Now we can talk about the fun. And
the fun of Pokemon. Now, Pokemon, what's good about Pokemon is it lets you live an adventure. It's not like some games where you have to do exactly what it says. In Pokemon, you can have you can choose your own name. In some games, you can choose your rival's name. You can have the Pokemon you want. You can use the Pokeballs you want. You can do everything you want. And now there are some restrictions, like, and you can name Pokemon what you want and blah blah blah. There are some restrictions, like they won't let you put some words, like if they're curse words, they won't let you name them that. Which, you know, okay. But I know there are some restrictions, like you can't just go anywhere without doing something before. Which, like, I know in, like, if you're watching the Pokemon anime, or if you just really think about it, there's people in the world who aren't trainers, like people in the Pokemon world who aren't trainers. What if you just wanted to live the life of one of those non-trainers? You know, living in a Pokemon world, being helped by Pokemon. Maybe you want to be like a Nurse Joy character, or just like the Pokemon Center lady. And maybe you want to do that. That you can. Now, those are some of the restrictions of the Pokemon games. You have to be a trainer. Which, you know, that's just some things you have to live with if you want to play Pokemon. But still, anyway, Pokemon is a amazing game, and I really, really recommend that you, like, get it and play it. So yeah, I think that's enough for this podcast. So this is the first episode of the not so random, yet also super random podcast by Sinjin, aka Kraken. Now, I will have multiple guests, not just Marshall. I might have Wesley one day, Ace another day. Who knows? So yeah. So I haven't really thought of a outro for this, but I'm just gonna try something off the top of my head. So yeah. So if you like this podcast, then please subscribe to my channel and go watch my other videos. And yeah. And randomizers, come on and keep on being random.